All right. Hello, we are back. What's up, guys? This is the second half of the show, where we talk about tech. This is probably going to be a little bit shorter of a section, but nonetheless, we are splitting this part up. And let's just jump into it. All right, guys. First things first, let's get into some news here. Tweaktown. Now, you posted this in the Discord, Jerry.
Yeah, I just saw this today.
DDR6 16 gigabytes blows away Vega and Titan X bandwidth. This fucking website is terrible, dude.
Oh, it's a terrible website, but they do some decent info sometimes.
Is this Tweaktown or is this Game Facts?
Dude, they're from about the same era, yeah.
All right, so GDR6 will be ready to be teased at CES next year, which is awesome. I'm excited to see that. And I also saw GDDR6 somewhere else as well. It's I want to say in the new Intel chips with the AMD.
No, that's
Intel...
HBM.
Oh, that is?
Yep, that's HBM.
Where did I hear of let me double check. Go ahead. You talk about this one while I look.
Well, because currently the coolest thing is HBM and HBM2, but apparently GDR6 is coming out way sooner than I was expecting it to, and it's looking really good bandwidth wise, which is pretty cool.
You think it's just supposed to compete with the
it crushes
high
them.
bandwidth too?
No, it crushes them because okay, 1080 Ti.
Well, I'm saying with them releasing it a little bit. It's like GDDR5X just came out. Just was it 2 years old now? Well, yeah, maybe even earlier than that.
Same time, because even with GDR5X, they're pushing it to 11 gigabytes per second, and GDR6 is looking like 16. So
yeah,
that's huge. That's really,
so we're probably going to see this in the next architecture.
That's what the hope is, because I'm actually really hoping, because that would make the next Nvidia cards worth it. Because otherwise, I don't think they're gonna be entirely worth it if you're already on a 10 series card. Because the 10 series, the biggest gain, like there were huge gains from that, and then also the new AMD cards, because they were all switching architectures to 14 nanometers. So that's why there was such huge gains in it versus the 9 series and stuff like that. But I wasn't expecting much from the 11 series, because it was still going to be 14 nanometers, just going to be like, we slightly improved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to go back to that, it's almost like a TikTok kind of upgrade path, where the 10 series was the tick. That was the 25% increase, and the rest were just going to be 5% increases. But if GDR6 is doing this good, slap that on. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, Samsung is producing them, which is pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully we see it soon, because, dude, GDDR5X is fucking awesome. And if 6 is this much of an increase, I'm just imagining how their second architecture, where is the point of diminishing returns on these cards? You know what I mean? Like, where are we? Because we're still on a linear path going up. And it's crazy, because I'm still not even tapping out my 1080 Ti, in terms of productivity. And I mean, I guess in terms of games, there are some games that can push it to its max, but I mean, in terms of memory bandwidth, this is crazy. I'm just imagining the next 1080 Ti with 6X in there, and then on the new architecture, it's gonna get crazy, dude.
Yeah. Which I'm stoked on, because then you could with this is what I'm hoping is cool. You're gonna see the 1170 be able to push 4K. That's my hope. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be nuts.
That's
That'd
what
be
it's looking
absolutely insane.
like. That's what it's looking like.
When it was looking before, if it doesn't use this, if it's still using GDR5X, I'm not expecting a huge jump then.
No.
Because if it's still using GDR5X, you're gonna look at this 1170, and it's gonna be you can hit 30. You can hit 30 in 4K. It'll be what the 1080 is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the big move, is trying to get everyone to 4K, and then I mean, I guess 8K is the next. I mean, I think the overall goal is to push 4K and then push 4K VR, which would be whatever the new VR system is, because there's still a lot of money going into VR. But
no, right now I think that is the push, is getting people to 4K. because
Yeah.
4K is starting to become more standardized. So now everyone's trying to like really push for that. So in 2 years, you know, you're gonna buy a $100 4K panel instead of a $100 1080 panel.
Yeah. And your Apple MacBook Pro will still need like 7 different fucking wires to run 4K 60 frames per second. So let's talk about that. It's not on the list here, but so I bought a new Dell Ultra Sharp monitor from Micro Center. It's a really nice productivity monitor. I got it for basically photo editing because this monitor here I'm on right now is a gaming monitor. Color accuracy is terrible, and the iMac is just slow as shit. So I wanted to just be able to connect my MacBook. If I'm out in the field shooting, I can put it into my MacBook and then edit when I'm home. Now, it took me probably, I don't know, an hour and a half of being in Micro Center, talking with the reps who had no idea what the fuck was going on, asking them, how do I push 4K 60 hertz? Because I didn't know, I thought I could just connect the HDMI from my dongle to the monitor and it would be fine. It would work just like any other Windows machine. But for some reason, Mac has like this system integrity protection on their laptops that you need HDMI 2.0 to connect to a monitor to push 4K 60 frames per second, or you need USB-C to Thunderbolt, which no one carries except for Amazon. They didn't have any at Micro Center. Or you need certain types of dongles. And the docks that they had there was able to do it with DisplayPort, but they cost $300 for a fucking dock, USB-C dock. And I was not about to do that. So I was like, what I'll do is I'm just going to buy the monitor. I'll connect it with the dongle I have now and just wait until I can. I ordered one on Amazon. Should be here tomorrow. But that is unacceptable. No one can use a fucking external monitor at 30 frames per second at all. It's so bad. It is so dumb why they do shit like this. And this is the shit that pisses me off about Apple. It's like the little things like this.
That's what I complain about.
I understand, like, okay, USB-C to a monitor and it runs perfectly fine. But there's only one fucking monitor right now that does it natively with Mac, and that's the LG 5K and 4K, and they didn't have those at Micro Center either. And I didn't want one of those. I wanted the fucking Dell Ultra Sharp one. So it's just so dumb. And you were saying something about this before, right?
Yeah, no, I've had tons of other problems with people using 4K monitors. It'll always knock them down to 30 hertz instead of 60.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got it was a USB-C to Thunderbolt, whatever the Thunderbolt standard is, which should be fine. But
dongle.
They gotta fucking fix that shit, man. They gotta fucking fix that shit.
I mean, you could just, add a little tiny bit of thickness and actually put a port on it. But hey, that's not the future.
I know. And I'm all for the USB-C. I'm all for USB-C being like the standard with everything, but they just don't have anything right now in terms of display, in terms of anything. It all has to be connected in some janky ass way. Okay, and here's another thing too. So I have Thunderbolt 3 to Thunderbolt 2 port, an adapter that I bought to connect my MacBook to the iMac. That didn't work. iMac doesn't take in connections from the MacBook Pro 2017. So that didn't even work. So I was like, whatever, I'll just put it away. I'm not going to give it back. At least I have it. So then I got the monitor, I brought it home, and was like, wait a second. I'll connect my Thunderbolt 2 into the DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort into the monitor, and that should work. Oh wait, the Thunderbolt 2 drive doesn't provide enough bandwidth to push a display. So it's just not a display. It's not a display drive. Their own multi-port adapter that they sell at the Apple Store also doesn't display 4K at 60 frames per second. Only 4K 30 frames per second. Fucking so stupid that you have to go through all this trouble. So once I get the wire, I'm gonna make a video on No Life, basically telling everyone, look, if you have a MacBook Pro, this is exactly what you need. It's cheap. It's only like $18 for the wire, which is a Thunderbolt 3 to DisplayPort. And they just started making them. They just came out maybe a few months ago. So they're readily available now. But don't bother asking Apple employees. Don't bother asking Apple Tech. Don't bother asking Micro Center employees because they have no fucking idea. The one dude tried telling me that none of the docks at the Micro Center place contained DisplayPort on the docks. And I was like, Oh, really? All of your docks contain DisplayPort. They're just $400 and $300. I'm not spending that much money. So there goes that.
That's
There's
yeah.
my rant of the day. So annoying.
Yeah, no, I get it, because it's like, it's those little things where it's just like, okay, at the same time, I can take a Chromebook that I paid $160 for and it will connect to everything I've connected to it.
Yeah.
Imagine that, Apple trying to sell you on accessories and fucking shit that should be included anyway. And
They don't even
price gouge you
sell the
on it.
right accessories. They don't even, I don't know what the Mac department is doing over there in terms of like standardizing the Mac, because the original ones with all the regular USB-A ports on them, they're it's a fine laptop.
Well, no,
a lot of
dude,
people haven't even upgraded.
They had to get rid of all of it so they could get this new trash keyboard that will break with a fucking grain of sand.
How about that?
Yeah, you were
Apple
No,
I hate
selling
that,
you
dude. No,
products
seriously.
that are
You were-
underperforming.
You were
No,
saying
dude,
that,
'cause
but I don't
sucks, 'cause
know.
I love the old keyboard. The 2015 keyboard was my favorite laptop keyboard of all fucking time. I'm
No,
so
I
pissed
love
that
the
they changed it.
I love the new keyboard, but I don't know what you were saying this before about like a piece of dust breaking the keyboard.
There was a bunch of problems that people have been having with this new keyboards.
Really?
Yeah, like just look it up, because there was that outline had a huge article on it and stuff like that. A bunch of other companies have been having issues with them.
I think the
'Cause, like-
outline is biased against Apple, if I had to take a guess.
I don't know.
They've released some really harsh Apple articles lately.
That would really
Just saying.
surprise me though, because that's also, I mean, that's Josh Topolsky, and he used to be, I mean, he started iVerge, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's mad at Apple or something. He just doesn't like where Apple's going. But every article I read from Outline, because I like the Outline. I just started getting it maybe a month ago. I started reading its articles, and they have a fucking gorgeous website.
I do. No, I keep going to it just because I keep trying to like rip it apart because I want to steal other CSS.
Yeah, it's super clean. I love the way the website is. Big
Well, no, it's
fucking
weird because
images.
they figured out how to do it all with DOMs, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're talking my alley now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. It's dope. Their website's awesome. And I heard it was the guy from Verge. I didn't know his exact name.
Yeah, it was Josh Topolsky who started it. He was the guy who started The Verge. So,
Not a fan of their podcast. Do you hear their podcast?
no, I haven't heard their podcast.
It's a little
don't even know who's on it.
SJW-ish.
Oh, okay.
They also have a YouTube channel, which is like most of their videos that they've released had nothing to do with technology. Which
Yeah,
I'm cool
that was
with,
something.
but-
I did notice. Like, I think he is trying to push it as less of a tech site. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I could see like a Verge pop culture collab thing going on, which is kind of what they're doing, but it's a little bit like a little bit Mother Jones style, which is not my favorite style of content. But that's just me. Moving on.
Yeah, that's you. You think everything's SJW now.
It is. Dude. $150 mask sort of breaks into iPhone X. So this is interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not even been a week.
Yeah. But the article is a little bit, I don't know this article, but the one I read is a little bit misconstrued in how exactly this works. So the guy who created this, what it is like a 3D printed mask, and he took portions of the face, like pictures, and taped them onto this mask.
Well,
And they said
think
it
of the movie
scans-
Face Off, and you're getting an image.
Yeah. It's basically they just reads your eye area, your nose area, and your mouth area, and it determines the depth mapping between those features to unlock it. So, like if it was just like a balloon and he taped those features on there, it wouldn't work because it needs to be like the right depth between that. So you can essentially, I guess, you could break into someone's iPhone if you were able to get these exact dimensions for a mask. Which I don't know, would that be difficult to do? You know?
Well, I think the
yeah.
argument is
I would assume so, that would probably be pretty difficult.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you would need to like paper mache his face and then, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I think the argument is that it wouldn't be worth it unless you were trying to break into somebody like high profile. And if you were trying to break into somebody high profile, you would have those dimensions because you would have constant like
Video and stuff.
thousands of pictures and videos of their face at every single angle imaginable.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then you would
like-
need to get into their phone as well, because it's not like a cloud-based security, so you would need to steal their phone as well. So it's a pretty advanced hack that you would need to do to get into it.
Dude, it's the FBI's backdoor.
Yeah, that's how they do it. They're modeling everyone's faces right now through our fucking webcams. Definitely.
No,
but
they're just doing it through your phone.
Yeah, dude. You know, Apple did the right thing and didn't give the FBI that dude's like fingerprint information and the rest of his information. But now, now when you go to jail, they're just gonna take pictures of their face so they can break into your phone.
That's it.
There's your backdoor. There's your conspiracy theory of the week.
Apple was just talking about how they wanted to cooperate with the Texas shooter, with the FBI and the Texas shooter, and they were the police department in Texas was basically saying that Apple wanted nothing to do with them, and that they couldn't break into the dude's phone. And Apple was like, no, we would be completely willing to break into his phone. You guys are lying. So I was like, wait a second, weren't they the whole thing about before?
Orlando.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden they're just like, here, give us the phone, we'll get right into it. I don't know what the actual truth is. It's all hearsay, but
the way you phrased that, the way you phrased that, I was like, yeah, I could totally see Apple pairing up with the Texas shooter. But yeah, like I don't know. Like have you guys noticed? Okay, so Wayne, you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Have you noticed when you go to your I don't really keep up with phone technology that much, but something that did kind of freak me out is if you had like, how big is your photo library? Is it like a decent size?
Not on my iCloud.
Okay.
And my Google Photos drive, it's pretty decent.
All right. So on your Apple photo library, you could go to your photo library and you know how there's like a little search bar.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
You know that you can just type in random words and they will match it with like pictures.
Yeah.
Of what they believe. That's kind of freaky, man.
Yeah, well, that's all that machine learning. That's what the machine learning is in the chip.
I mean,
not like over cloud. It's not a cloud-based system. So nothing's getting, at least that's what they say. Nothing's getting sent over to a cloud system. So no one can have that information, but that's what they say. You know what I mean? Who knows exactly what type of security measures that are actually being put in place? That, because I was hearing the other day that they were selling face ID statistics to advertisers, or someone was getting them. I don't have the full article on that, but maybe I'll bring that up next week. But that's what they say. It's all just encoded onto the chip. So nothing's being sent over, but you never know, man. You know. Have you heard of gang stalking? I learned about this over the weekend.
Gang stalking.
Gang stalking.
Gang or game?
Gang.
Gang.
Okay.
Genghis Khan.
Okay.
That's not how you spell Genghis Khan, but
no. I thought you were saying game at first. I'm just like, what? Are you just like looking at my Discord, seeing what I'm playing every single day so you can just hop in?
Just staring at your Discord fucking. No, gang stalking is when you think that the entire country is out to get you. And I watched a Vice documentary that just came out about it over the weekend. And
you mean paranoia?
It's extreme paranoia. And these people really believe that like a helicopter would fly by. And
manic?
Yeah.
Manic?
Like manic, insane paranoia. Yeah. But they get
like, I got braces and now CIA is talking to me.
Yeah, or like a car would drive by and someone would be like, you know, that person, they've been following me around. But the reason what crosses over into gang stalking is it's more occurring than it really is. You know what I mean? Like a helicopter would fly by and they can prove that helicopter has flown by at multiple times. It wasn't just like one helicopter, and they think like they can prove certain things. And they think like it's all just for this mass conspiracy to literally just pick on certain people and break them down emotionally. Like they don't want their money. They don't want to kill them. It's just to like fuck with them individually. It's really, really weird.
Hell yeah, dude. Go to that fucking haunted house shit.
Oh, the McCamey
Manor?
Yeah, McCamey Manor.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think with a lot of these like facial ID and, you know, the stoplights having cameras and just like all this weird techno connected shit going on. I think a lot of people don't know how to handle it because in the documentary, in the documentary, it's all elderly. They're all like older gentlemen and women.
It's that, but I do see that happening, and I see it happening even in younger people because machine learning has been getting really good, and it's just going to keep getting better. Because like for a lot of those, what go.
We just keep coming full circle to Elon Musk telling us that we need to be scared of AI.
Yeah, basically. Because like no, everyone who thinks like that their phone's listening to them, the phone's not. It's just like that's how good machine learning's gotten. That if you look up McKamey Manor, you're actually probably in this demographic, and if they also know you're in this one other demographic, you're probably like going to look at this, or you're like, oh, if you look up shopping, you know, like if you're going to go look at tickets to Iceland for $99 like I did one time, everything's going to be flight. But it's not just going to be flight, it's going to be flight brands or like luggage brands that 25-year-old white dudes who are tech savvy usually shop from.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's gotten to that scale of like, no, it is really figured out.
Yeah.
So
and
it
it's
is kind of
super
creepy.
localized. Like there was a fire the other day, and like me and Kate were talking about like fire protection, like fire extinguishers, and something else that was really weird, like a fire it was like a fire blanket. So if our dog caught on fire, we'd throw the fire blanket on him, and then he'd just tell him like, get the fuck out of here and let him run.
It's nicer than a great blanket.
There you go. And you know, that stuff would pop up on the search. Like I never searched for it, but it just knows that we would be looking for those type of products because of the fire that was near us.
Yeah, because it knows there's a fire that was near.
Yeah, and then there were other people probably looking that stuff up. So it gets it with all that machine learning, everything becoming localized and things being so connected, you're gonna get people who are fucking think the FBI's out to pick on them. Which is, I highly recommend you guys check out the documentary, because if you want to see like what extreme paranoia can do to someone, it's devastating, man. These people, like, they lose their lives. Like they can't function anymore because they're so afraid. Like, oh my God, that blue car drove by again. There must be someone out to fuck with me.
It's cool,
like,
dude. That's
now you know. And now you know why I quit smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, dude, that's gonna be all of us when we're like 60 or 70. There's gonna be
Skynet is around, and they're like,
dude,
fuck that.
All the kids are like, Skynet
is
a bad grandpa.
I can't wait to enter the Matrix, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be all of that, and then on top of it, you're still just gonna be like, crap, I said this one thing on this show when I was in my 20s. Someone's gonna come and kill me because of this.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like the South Park episode with the troll trace.
No way.
Everything you've ever said online will be known to everyone.
By the time I'm 80 or 90 years old, I'm jacking up into the cloud and I'm living in some fucking weird San Junipero type land where
it's going full Matrix.
Bliss. Full Matrix, dude. Full Matrix. And IV of just like hardcore opiates just into my body.
Because if you make it that long, then why not?
Yeah, dude. I'm going pure bliss.
If I'm making it past 60, I'm a druggie.
Like, how cool would it be if you can be in a state, like, when you're that old, like, you're on the edge of dying, that you can just, jack into something, and you don't even know when you're crossing over into, like, death. You know what I mean? It's just, like,
oh, dude, I already got that plan figured out. I want to turn senile.
Just go crazy?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Man, like, Jerry's game is Alzheimer's. That's kind of crazy.
It's like, I don't want to remember this fucking shit.
That's kind of intense, man. I hope you don't have kids, because that shit's terrible on them. My grandmother had Alzheimer's. That shit was so bad.
Yeah, my grandma too. Alzheimer's is crazy because it's like.
Never mind. I was gonna make a political joke. I'm not gonna go there.
Alzheimer's is like.
Gotta forget something somehow.
Alzheimer's, it's weird because it's like watching someone with Alzheimer's like forget how to like breathe. Like that's crazy. Because you don't realize, like, you can, like, your body knows how to do things. Like, forgetting how to swallow, like, just in the middle of eating something can kill you. That's crazy that you can forget shit like that. So it makes you super conscious. Like, I remember being as a kid, and my dad was saying, like, my grandmother needed help to eat because she could forget how to fucking swallow in the middle of eating something and just die. And I was like, oh my God, like, how do I think about swallowing every time I would swallow? You know what I mean? Like, You become super aware of that stuff.
And then as soon as you become super aware, it all feels really weird.
Yeah, it feels unnatural. Like think about breathing and you immediately stop breathing. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. But I think the creepiest thing about, I guess we're doing Alzheimer's now on the tech thing. But
it's a mishmash.
Yeah, I was gonna rub it back at some point, but keep going.
But when my grandmother, so it was my mom's mom, and she had 13 kids. So when she got Alzheimer's, she would just constantly ask, "Where's the baby? Is the baby okay?" And that shit was so creepy, dude. That shit was so, just sitting there, she's like, "Where's the baby?" It's like, "Oh shit, grandma, calm down."
I am the baby.
Well, now I know why Floco likes BoJack Horseman.
There you go.
Yeah. Dude, I love BoJack Horseman. It's great. All right.
Rope that back though.
All right, go ahead. Rope it back.
I'll have to remember the day that AMD and Intel worked together.
Oh yeah, do you have to? Can you drop it in the OneNote so I could see the article?
I can find one.
Yeah. All right, find one real quick. Because I didn't put that in there.
Because that's just fucking absurd to me, to be honest. Like
Yeah, it's
that's
great.
insane.
It's great.
Oh, it's awesome, but it's still insane. Like I never saw these two working together.
Me neither.
Not in a million years.
But they're doing it.
So for people who don't know, yeah, AMD and Intel of all companies teamed up to make some mobile chips. And they're going to be SoCs. They're going to be system on a chip type things. So it's going to be a Kaby Lake H, they're calling it, which is one of the quad core Intel Kaby Lake chips that has AMD HBM modules attached to it for AMD dedicated graphics attached to the processor that's Intel's, since Intel can't figure out graphics.
Yeah, so dude, I'm hype on this because Intel graphics are, like you were saying, they're shit. They've never been good for anything. Like you could barely fucking watch a 4K video on a Iris.
Yeah.
So with AMD partnering in and basically lending, I don't know how their partnership actually works. Like I don't know exactly.
It's just for this. Because
I'm
that's
sure
what
it's just
everyone's
for
been
this,
trying
yeah.
to figure out, because it is kind of crazy. Because to
Why wouldn't
continue
they
the
work with
crazy
Nvidia?
Probably because Nvidia would want a more higher
Yeah.
premium. You know?
Probably, yeah. That's the craziest part too. Is but also, well, it's also because AMD has more. They have a lot more experience doing this, because this is a single system on a chip design. This is similar to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox. This is similar to that.
Yeah.
They have a lot more experience doing that, and also their A series of processors, which was already a more advanced integrated graphics type and stuff like that. So they got a lot more experience on those CPU and GPU integrations.
Yeah. Like
It's still crazy.
if you could edit 4K video straight off of something like this, that would be huge for laptops. Play something like CS:GO, or small games like that, but run them respectably.
Yeah, like that's nuts to me. Like it's still not looking like a huge amount. So like 4 gigs HBM2. There's some rumors that it might be Polaris, and there's some rumors it might be Vega, which is also weird. But
Yeah,
like,
I'm not sure.
The crazy part is like it's still not going to give you as good of performance as say like a mobile 1070, like a GTX 1070. But even with a lot of that cool stuff Nvidia's been doing, you can get those you can get a laptop with a 1070 down to about 16 or 17 millimeters. This you could get down to 11. So just over a centimeter thick. So you could put this in almost anything.
Yeah, which is pretty dope. Like,
you could put this in a MacBook. You could put this in a MacBook Air in a second, which is kind of my hope.
Yeah, and that would be the perfect example of something that would be awesome with a chip like this. Is like a MacBook Air,
like
Chromebooks.
all of the ultra, like the super ultra books.
Yeah,
like that's what this is for.
Yeah, which is pretty dope.
because this crushes Iris.
And then they have like the Maxwell Q series, which is like the discrete graphics in those like smaller, thinner laptops, but they're not
Right,
like
that's what I was saying. That
MacBook Airs.
Right, no, that will get you down to 16 or 17 millimeters, and then this one you can go down to 11 easily. So that is going more towards that, like that super ultra book.
Yeah, which would be cool, man. That's closer to your Mac Mini dream, dude. Mac
Yeah.
Mini dream with like something
Well,
like
because
this
the only
in there.
that's
put it on
what I'm
the back
kind of
your TV.
hoping. Exactly, because the only thing that's been shown so far, leak wise, is a NUC.
Or a Nook.
Yep. So
I mean, you might as well
that's
just
the
get a
dream.
Nook.
Yeah.
Get a Nook.
Canuck. You get that Canuck going, dude.
I mean, honestly, if they don't update the Mac Mini, yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Like that is my whole hope is they're gonna throw this in a Mac Mini and I can just throw this on the back of a TV.
Yeah. Or you just
But
go
like
Nook.
if not, I might just get a NUC.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Like it's still insane to me that they're working together though. And then okay, if you want to go even crazier, did you hear what happened 2 days after they announced this?
no.
Did you see that at all? What's his name? Raja, the leader of AMD and the head of AMD Technologies Group, who makes all of the Radeon graphics, got hired by Intel. He left
really?
AMD and is now working for Intel.
Oh wow.
2 days after this got
Good.
announced.
Good. That's a good pickup for Intel.
Yeah, to head up a new graphics division to make it even crazier.
They
So-
said he was like the hottest free agent in the industry.
You know
So
what?
he's
Maybe
leaving
what they're trying
AMD
to
graphics because so they want to start trying to develop their own.
Yeah,
so
I
I think
was
they're
just about to
using this as a
say.
stopgap until they can make their own.
They're gonna make their own
But yeah.
and just say, okay, thanks for the help. We're just gonna make our own now. Bye.
But now we're gonna have the next 4 years is gonna be just patent trolling for both sides. I'm sure, to be honest.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, AMD's probably taking whatever they can get right now. They're gonna take whatever they can get. And Intel is probably like, here, we can make this together. Put it in a bunch of fucking little tiny machines. You take your cut, whatever their
Yeah.
cut is. It's probably not a 50-50 cut. It's probably a weird one, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, because I think it works for both of them, to be honest, because it's a win for the consumers for right now, especially on the laptop market. And then I don't think either company's doing poorly by any means.
Yeah. I mean, dude, discrete graphics are awesome if they can get it up to something that's respectable offering. Because the Iris they're nice. They do like normal shit, but you're not, like I said, 4K video is something that a lot of these little ultra machines have. And if you want to watch 4K video on something with an Iris, I mean, that's like half your battery right there, gone. Just in like watching some YouTube, and it's just not very optimized for good graphics production. So hopefully they can fix that with this AMD SoC chips.
Dude, if this thing, my other dream is this, and some rumors, it's going to be hopefully close in performance to like an RX 470, 570.
That'd be dope.
That would be insane
I
on a
wonder what the
laptop
price
that
is.
small.
What the price is going to be for them. Hopefully they're not too
Yeah, I don't know.
expensive. Hopefully, I wish they would do them with the new architecture. I don't know why they're using some old ass architecture.
It's the new. They're calling it Kaby Lake H because this is technically Kaby Lake R, because there still isn't an 8th gen like there is for Coffee Lake. So all of it got rolled into Kaby Lake, pick a number after it.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. Because like Kaby Lake Refresh or R, excuse me, they don't officially call it Refresh because that would make sense.
Okay,
That's all.
5.
Yeah. It's a Kaby Lake chip, but they did the same thing like they did with Coffee Lake, where it's now you get a quad core instead of a 2-core with hyper-threading.
All right.
And like stuff like that.
Last topic.
Honestly, it's a huge mess.
Last topic, Bitcoin didn't fork. This is fucking crazy. So if you follow cryptocurrency, you know there was going to be another fork into SegWit 2X, which was supposedly going to be a new block. It's going to be this new a new segment of the Bitcoin blockchain, which has better scalability in it. And that's what they were saying. there's a lot of politics behind it because there was a lot of companies behind SegWit 2X.
The
but
battle of the big block versus the small block.
Yes, the community didn't appreciate it because there was a lot of shadiness with this 2X going. Eventually, what happened was they said, we're not going to fucking fork. What happened was after that,
they said they were going to fork for like half the year.
It's insane. It's insane. They were afraid. They were afraid the market was just gonna. That everyone was just gonna say fuck that, sell off the coin that they did because they pumped it up to almost $8,000. And anyone, and I was lucky where I sold it at a pretty high number, and then I don't know what the number is at. Let's check it out right now. Actually,
I mean, if it would have went ahead and gone through with this, wouldn't the value have dropped?
Which of
considerably?
What? The value of what? Bitcoin?
Yeah.
No, because the plan, what the community's plan was to do was you would, when you get into Coinbase, is like a wallet, right? You can bring your Bitcoin over to Coinbase, and then when it forks, they're going to give you the same amount of Bitcoin you have, but in that new coin. So what people were planning to do is as soon as you got that new coin, you would pump it a little bit and then sell it off back to Bitcoin, and then that's it. Then you have a lot more Bitcoin. So there was not a lot of the only backing that new coin would have was from these companies, whereas the community was like, look, we don't want nothing to do with this new SegWit 2X. We're not about it.
Yep.
I don't know exactly why
that's like
they
when
didn't
the
want to
first
support it, but they didn't.
Yeah, that's like what happened with the first one, because when it forked the first time with cash, that plummeted instantly.
Yeah,
that was almost worthless. Like in comparison to how much Bitcoin was worth, it was worthless.
And now what's happening is that people are buying up Bitcoin Cash, and it's almost at, let's see. So Bitcoin right now is at 6,500. Yeah, it pumped.
Yep.
And they're calling it the Flippening because everything's got to have a fucking catch name with it. Let's see where Bitcoin Cash is right now. Bitcoin is at 6,598. Its high was almost like 7,500 only like a couple days ago.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now it's dropped again. A lot of people are buying this dip. I'm going to wait. I think it's going to dip a little bit more.
What the fuck?
Let's see.
Yeah, when the fork first happened, this coin was pretty much almost instantly worth like $150.
Yeah.
Because of how many people sold it off.
Bitcoin Cash is now up to $1,300. So it got pumped. It definitely got pumped. And there's a lot of politics behind it because it really has to do with the technology behind it. Bitcoin's scalability is much like Ethereum scalability, and Ethereum's a whole nother story. There was just another big hack that happened, like $150 million of Ethereum just got fucking gone. Boom, there goes your fucking money. And I'm not exactly sure the technology behind that hack. Ivan on Tech is someone that I enjoy watching on YouTube because he's a developer and all this cryptocurrency stuff, and he really knows the technology behind it all, and he can break it down a lot better than I can. But with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, it seems as if right now it's like an hour per block on Bitcoin Cash, which is crazy. I'm not sure if it's clogging or if it's just the Bitcoin Cash blocks they're just bad. So it's fucked. And I really think what's going to happen is that you're going to see a lot of people pumping and dumping Bitcoin Cash just to hit back to Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin's going to drop a little bit more, maybe even back down to $5,000. Then I think I'm going to buy in and just hold it again.
I think it could be partially that, but like, okay, wasn't Bitcoin Cash the first SegWit fork?
Yeah.
So I'm almost wondering too if it's people who did want the second SegWit fork trying to be like, well, okay, crap, well, I guess we got to try to make this into our thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is.
Like, we were planning on this one, it didn't work, so I guess we'll go back to version 1 instead of version 2.
Now here is a post made by Gregory Maxwell over on r/BTC, and this is his breakdown. There's mass migration from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash going on. Bitcoin was saved from massive price crashing because people couldn't escape fast enough. Their sell transactions weren't being mined, so they couldn't confirm. There are currently 180,000 unconfirmed transactions stuck in Bitcoin right now. Many people are rushing to sell Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin Cash. Transactions are averaged at 400 bytes. Since Blockstream Core insisted on keeping block size at 1 megabyte, you only confirm about 2,500 per block on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a built-in system that automatically adjusts the mining difficulty. So regardless of what the total hash rate is, you still end up with roughly 10 minutes per new block mined. This is known as a difficulty adjustment. The difficulty adjustment is not instant, is only recalculated every 2016 blocks. Under normal circumstances, it readjusts every 2016 times 10 minutes for every 14 days. If the hash rate increased before the adjustment block, the new blocks will appear faster than normal. If the hash rate decreases, then it's slower. The problem we have here is when Bitcoin Cash was created a few months ago, cloned from Bitcoin, we knew Bitcoin was going to have a lot more hash rate than Bitcoin Cash, so we couldn't clone the difficulty adjustment algorithm. We had to use our own. Otherwise, Bitcoin Cash would need 2,000 times 200 minutes to mine a block. Bitcoin Cash only had 5% of Bitcoin's hash power. So it's taking longer for Bitcoin's caching to mine a block, which is when you mine a block, that's basically confirming a transaction. So when someone moves money or pays for something, that needs to be confirmed through the blockchain, which is what all the cryptocurrency is about. It's about what's the word? Decentralized system. Everyone can confirm, like most of the miners, they're all confirming these transactions. So when it's taking an hour to confirm a transaction, that's where things get a little hairy, right? You can't, if you need money now and it takes you an hour to get it, that's a big problem. Good thing about Bitcoin, it only takes a couple minutes. What do we got here? What is that?
This is what I'm doing now while listening.
Is that your Bitcoin? You're mining? Is that your little ant miner?
No, that's just like, oh, well, I'll open it up on this too. Sure, why not?
Damn, dude, you're rolling in the fucking Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, dude.
How much is that? Is that estimated earnings, daily estimated earnings? $1 a day, that's not bad. It's $300 a year, dude. For doing what, you know?
For living. This is just sitting here on my computer while I'm talking to you on Zoom.
Yeah, but I was about to say, but does that pay for the utility bill though? And the utilities used
on this one? Yeah.
The electricity.
Oh, this easily. This is for all of them, not always, but this definitely.
There you go, $300 a year. It's not bad, dude. My electric bill for this month is going to be $300 because we have to turn the heaters on, and our heaters are so fucking expensive. I'd rather freeze, to be honest, but
same. But I'm right now this place I got for heat, so yeah. Otherwise, that's still insane to me. The most even with crappy heat, I would just let myself freeze, and the most I ever spent on electricity bill was in a single month was $40.
Dude, our last year it was like $300-$400 per month in the winter.
Yeah, mine's not that bad. Mine's like $70-$80 usually.
It's bad.
And I'm up in Michigan where it's cold. I just don't use the heat as much and get a sweater.
I mean, yeah, I don't use the heat really at all, but in the summertime I use the air a lot.
Yeah, the air's not that bad
really
on my end.
Hot down here.
It's just our heaters are fucked up. Okay, all right. I want to get to the. See, I don't really exactly know the politics behind Bitcoin Cash, which is why I can't fully talk. What's going on here? Why is Cortana just opening up? Which is why I can't fully explain this system. Just know that it is not a very good time to do anything in Bitcoin or in Bitcoin Cash or in Ethereum, because Ethereum is having its own issues as well. Let's look at the Ethereum price. If you are a crypto miner, you probably already are aware of all that's going on. So Ethereum's gone up a little bit. It's up to 316, which is nice. 315, 316.
Yeah.
But if you did have Bitcoin Cash, and you were betting on Bitcoin Cash, I would, I don't know, man. You should have sold, because it was up to almost $2,000 at one point, which is fucking insane. If you are someone who has a little bit of spare money and you're looking to make some money, cryptocurrency is by far the most profitable way to do it. Just be ready to be on a roller coaster ride of emotion, because every fucking week it's something new, especially nowadays with all of this scalability issues and politics, and it's just crazy right now. But you can make some profit. I've made some good profit jumping back into Bitcoin already. So just imagine if you hold on now, 10 years from now when the blocks are all figured out and when you have a lot more market power and market cap to really
Or
push that
it's
money.
all just crashed by then.
Or it's all crap. Or like the US regulates it, and it's gone. Which I
will
don't think
say
would
you
happen,
can-
but who knows?
You can definitely make some money, but I will also say just never put that much money into it. Like until there is some type of regulation or something like that, or it is recognized. Don't put your life savings into this, please.
No.
Like please don't.
Unless you have
will
money.
lose it.
Unless you're someone with money and you have a consistent good income. It's not a get rich quick scheme. There's a lot of fucked up shit going on in cryptocurrency. Like there was a whole issue with fake ICOs and just people and the hacks going on. There are vulnerabilities. It's not everything that it's all cracked up to be. There's a lot of people behind Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecash and Zcash who talk a lot of shit, but when it comes down to it,
Dude, just put all your money in
vulnerabilities pop
Dogecoin.
up.
Put it all in Dogecoin.
I mean, honestly, you could
Put
probably
it
get
in
an ant
vape
miner.
coin. Yeah, thought about it. No, you're just gonna put it all in a vape coin, Dogecoin, Putin coin, Burger King coin, pot coin.
No life coin. I'm starting it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
let's do
start
that.
it.
Sure, why not? Dude, everyone's got one at this point.
I'm gonna start one. No life coin.
I mean, they're
It's actually
literally
pretty
there's
cool.
a Putin coin.
Dude, Mr. Robot, the TV show, has a fucking coin. So if they can have one, then I'm gonna fucking have one. God damn it. If you're looking to get into cryptocurrency, all you need to do is sign up for a Coinbase account. That'll get you started. It's probably the easiest way to do it. I pretty much only follow Coinbase. I don't really follow any other exchanges. I don't really follow any other wallets because I think I just trust Coinbase for now. A lot of people don't trust Coinbase. I have my reasons, but a lot of the community is weird. They're very hive-mindish and
Yeah, I was gonna
look
say
what just happened with Bitcoin and Bitcash, and they were all behind this pump and dump scheme, and it didn't work. They didn't even fucking fork their goddamn coin, and a lot of them lost. I mean, we were up to almost $8,000, and then now it's back down. Who knows? Might drop more.
What I would suggest is I think it's still going on, but Humble Bundle is selling a blockchain basics book set. Just go buy Blockchain for Dummies for $1 and then read that first and then decide if you want to get into this.
Yeah, definitely.
Before throwing your money in.
Yeah, definitely know that you're investing in the technology and it's not technically a currency. They call it a cryptocurrency, but it's more of a technology that you're investing in. Yeah, and I think that's it for this episode of No Life. Hope you guys enjoyed this split. All right, if you are a YouTube follower or you're in the future and you're following us, you're catching up on all our shows. This is where I'm going to start breaking the shows down, hopefully in multiple segments. So this is a pretty big news topic. I'll probably cut this into a little section of its own, along with some of the other stuff. What else did we talk about? Fucking the Battlefront 2 stuff. Who knows? I'm gonna cut it up into little sections that I think are important, so we can drive traffic because we need traffic. If you did like the show, make sure you share it, share our retweet our stuff, share our videos, and like and subscribe. All right, we will catch you guys later. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye,
Deuces, yo.
everyone. Table on the phone on the table for emphasis.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Gonna go hit a table a couple of times in the background.
Pow.